بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 4, Form, Meaning and Function, which means we'll be doing lots of exercises for today. Form, meaning and function. But before we do that, let's revise what we previously took in our previous lesson. The hockey, as you can see the field map here, or the rink of the hockey, and we read about hockey, and we knew the positions here: the goal post, the defending zone, the neutral zone, the attacking zone, the goal line, and the crease. This is the article about the hockey, and we answered all these questions previously regarding the hockey, the face-off, the body check. Also, we answered this chart: name of sports or recreational activity. Of course, we chose here football, and we answered this question: where can you do this activity? In a pitch or a field. When can you do this activity? Of course, football you can play at any time. Do you need any special equipment? A ball and two nets or two goals. What do you have to do to prepare for the activity? The team who score more goals win. Why do you like this activity? Because it's fun, it's competitive, it's extremely enthusiastic when you play. Would you recommend this sport or activity to your friend? Yes, of course, because it's fun. Then we took the writing corner to write when you write an email to a friend giving news and instructions. These are the points. Let's revise them quickly. First of all, to greet and sign off the email in an informal manner. Informal, because you're writing to your friend here, so be informal. For example, here, hi, hello, dear, and so on. Write as if you're speaking to your friend directly. Write as if he's right in front of you, writing to him directly. Give your news, as in school, a recent activity you've taken up. If the reader doesn't know the sport or activity, give details. Of course, if he doesn't know the sport or the activity you're talking about, give details about what's involved and the stages and steps. Hand over the first draft to someone else to read and comment on, edit and rewrite. So jumping to today's lesson, these are the objectives for today's lesson: for meaning and function. Form sentences about an action that started in the past. Produce sentences about duration. Form sentences about counting. Express duration with for, express duration with all. Connect a group of words with a specific sport to explain how to use the present perfect progressive tense. So let's begin our lesson here. What's the form of the present perfect? The present perfect, what is the form? What do we write? What is the form of the present perfect? I think you know this answer. It's extremely easy. Has or have plus the past participle. So the form, what we write in the present perfect, we write has or have according to the subject, of course. Then we write the past participle of the verb. So here we use the present perfect simple tense in the following situations. To talk about something in the past, we use the present perfect simple, even though it's called present, but we talk about the past. To talk about something in the past when we do not know when the event happened, or it is not important when it happened. So the second point here is that we use the present perfect simple when we don't know when the event happened in the past, we don't know, or just we don't care. It's not important to mention the specific time of the action. The third one here, to talk about ongoing time from the past up to now. From ongoing time, something that started in the past and is still continuing and is still happening until now. So the present perfect progressive versus the present perfect simple. So we have two grammars here: present perfect progressive and present perfect simple. So let's read it and explain it together. We use the present perfect progressive tense to talk about an action that started in the past. Of course, we all know this. We use the present perfect progressive to talk about an action, even the simple here, to talk about an action that started in the past. and has a connection with the present time, and is still happening until the present time. The action may or may not have finished. The action may or may not have finished. So from the beginning, we use the present perfect progressive about an action that started in the past and may or may not finish, and is still happening until now, and may or may not finished. We don't know. Also, we use the present perfect progressive to emphasize the results of an action. Again, we use the present perfect progressive to emphasize the results of an action. Also here, we use the present perfect progressive to say how long something has been happening, as in we focus on time. Sometimes we use the present perfect progressive to focus on the time, about the duration of something that is happening. So again, we use the present perfect progressive to say how long something has been happening. We also use the present perfect simple here to say how many things have been done. Again, we use the present perfect simple to say how many things have been done. So there are some similarities between the present perfect progressive and the present perfect simple. The progressive mainly focuses on the duration of the action. The simple focuses on the action itself. Let's take some examples here. Present perfect progressive. How long have you been learning to ski? How long have you been learning to ski? So, how long have you been learning to ski? So, these are all the forms of the present perfect progressive: have, been, and the verb with ing, learning. And the answer here is, I've been learning how to ski for 6 months. I've been learning how to ski for 6 months. So the progressive always focuses on the time. You can see here the time arrow here, that the 6 months. Let's see here. So this is the present here. This is the present, and this is the future. So this is the present perfect progressive. This is the whole 6 months, something that began in the past here and is still happening until the present here. So this is the 6 months here. Again, I have been learning how to ski for 6 months. We are using the present perfect progressive to ask and say for how long something has been happening. So we focus on the time. The present perfect simple, I have attended 5 cross-country skiing events. I have attended 5 cross-country skiing events. Notice here that we don't focus on the time at all. We just focus on the action, that I have attended some activity, some events, and that's it. I don't mention when. I don't mention for how long. That's it. We just focus on the action. Time expressions using how long. Time expressions using how long. Use the present perfect progressive tense with for here to indicate the duration of the action. For example here, for 2 months, for a year, for a long time, and so on. For example, when you say, I have been studying for 6 hours. So this is the duration, for 6 hours. We use the present perfect progressive with since here to indicate when the action began. So since is to pinpoint when the action began. So you give me the duration, but from the beginning, you pinpoint when did this action began. Since yesterday, since last June, since 2010, and so on. We use the present perfect progressive with all here, with all, and so on, to talk about the duration of the action, which may or may not have finished. When you say, I have been studying all day, all week, all month, all year, or you can say all my life. So when you say, I have been studying all week, I have been studying all week. So when I hear the sentence, I don't know that you have finished or not. So it takes both possibilities. Continuing here, this is exercise A. Read the words in the chart below and find the sport that connects them complete the chart below with the name of the sport. So I think this is an easy exercise. We have a chart and we have some information about the activity or the sport that's on the top of the chart. The first one is already done. So we have goggles, swim hat, swimwear, flippers, and pool. Goggles, swim hat, swimwear, flippers, and pool. So when you combine all of these together, you know that the sport is swimming. So let's get to the second one. So these are, let's say these are clues that give us the sport. Board, sea, swimwear, sail, and wind. Again, board, sea, swimwear, sail, and wind. I think you can guess the sport or the activity here. Let's see if your answer is correct. It's wind surfing. It's wind surfing. So it's surfing on the waves using the sail when you grab it. The third one, snow, slope, mountain, gloves, snow boot, and skis. So I think that you have some clue here. Again, snow, slope, the slope, mountain, gloves, snow boots, and skis. I think this is an easy one also. Let's see the answer here. It's skiing. From the last word, skis, I think you got the answer. Number 4, trainers, net, ball, racket, shorts. Trainers, net, ball, racket, and shorts. So you have a net, a wide one. You have a ball, small yellow ball, and a racket to hit the ball with. Yes, that's correct. It's tennis. It's tennis. Number 5 here, boots, gloves, shorts, ring, mouth guard. Mouth guard is something you put to protect your teeth, to protect your mouth. Again, boots, so it's an activity that you wear boots, and gloves, but a special kind of gloves, of course, shorts, and a ring, a square ring. So the answer here, of course, is boxing. So boxing, they fight each other in a ring. Continuing here with exercise B, compare your answers in exercise A with a partner. Ask and answer about different sports. Use the chart above for ideas and use the present perfect progressive tense. For example here, do you know how to ski? Yes, I do. I have been skiing since I was 10 years old. How about you? I don't know how to ski, but I know how to play football. How long have you been playing football? So you can do this with each and every sport that you have written in the previous exercise. You and your colleague or your friend try using this conversation, using, of course, the present perfect progressive. So here we have adverbs and adjectives. We have adverbs here: quickly, slowly, correctly, and safely. Do you know what's the adjective from the adverb quickly? So if the adverb is quickly, what's the adjective here? So the adjective is quick. Very good. What about slowly here? Slowly? Yes, it's slow. And correctly is? Very good. Correct. What about safely? It's safe. Excellent. So let's go the other way around. I'm going to give you the adjective and you try to come up with the adverb. So the first one is dangerous. The adjective here is dangerous. What's the adverb from this adjective? Let's see the answer here. It's dangerously. What about careful? Very good. It's carefully. And notice we have two L's here. Two L's, carefully. What about bad? If the adjective is bad, what about the adverb here? Let's see. It's badly. Nice is nicely. And what about beautiful? With how many L's? Let's see the answer here. Beautifully. So beautiful becomes beautifully with two L's here. So you can notice here that the adverbs and the adjective are a little bit alike. Fast and hard can be used as both adjectives and adverbs. So the word fast, the adjective fast, is the same adverb. Fast, fast, adjective or adverb. Same with hard. Again, fast and hard can be used as both adjectives and adverbs. This is a fast car. He is driving fast. This is a fast car. This is an adjective because I'm describing an object here, a car. He's driving fast. This is an adverb because I'm describing how does he drive. I'm describing the action itself. We don't say fastly or hardly. We say fast. This is a hard test. This is a hard test. He worked hard to get a good grade. So fast and hard, both adjectives and adverbs. The adverbs hard and hardly have different meanings and are unrelated. So hardly is not the same as hard. Let's see why. Hard means requiring a lot of physical or mental effort. As an example here, he worked hard. So it took some effort from him. This is the adverb from the adjective hard. Again, he worked really hard. So he put a lot of effort, physical or mental. On the other hand, hardly means almost not, or to a very small degree. Hardly means almost not, or to a very small degree. For example, when you say, I hardly ate anything. I hardly ate anything, which means that you just ate maybe 1 or 2 portions, very little portions. So hard and hardly are very different. Let's take here the adverbs of manner. The adverbs of manner express how something is done. So we are describing the action, how something is done. They are normally formed by adding ly to the adjective. How did he explain? He explained carefully. Sometimes an adjective and adverb have the same form, like fast and hard, as previously mentioned. He's a fast runner. He runs fast. He's a hard worker. He works hard. And remember, we don't say hardly. The adverb of good is well. Remember this, well. The adverb of good is not goodly, it's well. Bad, it's badly. Okay, but good is well. He studied well. He did well. So, can Ali drive? Yes, he's a good driver. He drives really well. Can Ali dive? Dive or drive, it's the same. Yes, he's a good diver. He dives really well. We don't say goodly or good. So the adverb of good is well. Here's a language builder for you. To form adverbs, we often add ly to adjectives. With adjectives that already have a y in the ending, we change the y to I. For example, the adverb form of happy is happily. Notice the y is I here. Then we added ly. When the adjective ends in e, drop the e. For example, the adverb form of probable is probably. Notice the e is absent here. Probable and probably. However, when ly is added to adjectives that end in l, we double the l. For example, the adverb of cheerful is cheerfully, beautiful, beautifully, and so on. So we have 2 l's here. Comparative forms of adjectives and adverbs. The comparative form of the most one-syllable adjectives and adverbs is formed by adding er. This is an easy one. So slow is slower. One-syllable adjectives here. Slow, slower, fast, faster, hard, harder, and so on. Some comparative forms of adjectives are irregular. So we have some irregular forms. For example, good is better, bad, worse. So good, better, bad, worse. The comparative form of most 2 or more syllable. So now we're talking 2 or more syllable adjectives and adverbs is formed by adding more. So difficult, we have 3-syllable word here, is more difficult. Carefully is more carefully, and so on. And what word do we often use with comparative adjectives? what word we used with all the comparative adjectives? Yes, very good. It's the word than. Bigger than, better than, smaller than, and so on. Adjective comparative here, the youngest athlete was faster than all the others. So we have youngest and faster. Football is more thrilling, because there's more than one syllable here. Football is more thrilling than basketball. The adverb comparative here, the man climbed higher and higher up the mountain. So we put two words here. The man climbed higher and higher up the mountain. The earthquake got stronger and the walls shook more violently. Another language builder here, we can use both er or more with many two-syllable adjectives. So some two-syllable adjectives, you can either add er or use more. For example, politer and more polite are both correct. You can say politer or more polite. We usually use er with adjectives ending in y, ow, le, and er. We add er with adjectives ending with y, ow, le, and er. For example, heavier, narrower, simpler, and cleverer. So heavier, it ends with the y, so we added ier. We use more than two-syllable adjectives ending in ed, ing, ful, and less. For example, more tired, more boring, more stressful, and more careless. So any two-syllable adjectives ending in ed, ing, ful, or less, we use the word more here. Than and as. We use than to compare the two people, animals, things, ideas, or situations. The athlete trains harder than all other athletes. We use as to show two items are the same in some way. For example, here, skiing is as dangerous as snowboarding. So which means here that skiing and snowboarding have the same level of danger. We use not as to show the two items are not in the same way. For example, the fold-up bicycle is not as bulky as the regular bicycle. So here we are declining the comparison here. Again, we use not as to show that the two items are not the same in some way. They are not the same. So we are declining the similarity here. The example, the fold-up bicycle is not as bulky as a regular bicycle. So jumping here to exercise C, read the advertisement for winter ski vacation, complete the gaps with the appropriate words. So this is just an exercise of filling the gaps with the correct or the appropriate word. There's more to a winter trip than just skiing. Are you thinking of going on skiing vacation? Do you ski as good as your family? So do you ski? We are describing how you ski. So yes, as well as your family. If not, then don't despair. There's a lot more to a trip to the snow skiing. So number 2 is yes, very good. So there's a lot more to a trip to the snow than skiing. There are lots of things you can do: snowboarding, bobsled riding, snow scooting, and the late craze snow rafting. So number 3 is the late craze. Very good. The latest craze snow rafting. Snowboarding is the popular alternative to skiing. So very good. The most popular alternative for skiing. It is easy than skiing. Do we say it is easy? Yes, it is easier than skiing and a lot fashionable. Do we say fashionable? Fashionable. Very good. And more fashionable. So because it's more than one syllable. So again, it is easier than skiing and a lot more fashionable. Bobsled riding can be a lot of fun, tiring, and very scary. Why? Reaching speeds of up to 70 miles per hour is a lot fast than skiing. So it is a lot faster than skiing. This is not a sport for the faint-hearted. Snow scooting and snow rafting are fairly new sports. Both involve riding down mountain slopes at very high speeds. Snow scooters are a good choice. So, snow scooters are a, yes, it remains the same. Snow scooters are a good choice for those who like doing tricks. If you like riding with friends instead, then snow rafting is the good choice. So, snow rafting is the what? Yes, is the best choice. And remember, building a snowman is as fun, very good as any sport. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.